Stakeholders in the Cross River State chapter of All Progressives Congress are unhappy about the party's decision to allocate the position of National Women Leader to Edo State instead of finding a replacement to former holder Dr. Betta Edu from her native state. Recall that Dr. Edu was recently appointed Minister of Humanitarian Affairs by President Bola Tinubu. She is from Cross River State and joining us now to address issues arising from the emerging intra-party crisis over the matter is Washington Usifo, a chieftain of All Progressive Congress in Edo State. Good to have you on the show today, Washington. Okay,
Thank you so much. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, as they say in Nigeria. So let's go straight to the point. What exactly is the gripe of the people of Cross River State, and why is it such a big deal whether it's your state of origin or the state where your husband hails from?
Well, first, we're all members of the All Progressives Congress, and I understand the standpoint from which the guy who spoke for River State yesterday, and the manner he spoke. He spewed hatred, he spewed anger. One can understand. You have a right to be angry if you think that things are not going your way, but however, you must state your case with some degree of decorum, given the position you occupy as the state chairman of the All Progressives Congress. And now the position that was under contest actually is not the birthright of any state, Cross Rivers inclusive. He must be reminded, and through him to the APC in River State, that there was a time when it was the party considered it necessary in line with the law to organize its Congress, and they took into account when sharing the national offices as well as the zonal offices. They considered the 6 geopolitical zones and all of that, and the positions for the national offices were shared along that line. When it was shared, it was now domiciled around the leaders of the South-South, in this case, the 9 states of the South-South of APC, to allocate these positions. And for the reasons that the position of the woman leader, the national woman leader of the All Progressives Congress, was allocated to Cross Rivers. Now there is vacancy. And I have seen, I've gone through the legal instrument, so to speak, that the party chairman was relying on. He was talking about in our constitution, section 31(5) of the constitution, particularly sub 1. What he says is clear. It didn't say any state that held the power, that position, we hold it in perpetuity. What he says is clear. If there are vacancies, then the state ESCO would recommend, through the process, and it gets here. And that's exactly what has been done. When the vacancy existed, it threw the position open for states of the 9 states of the South-South to jostle for it. And in this case, Edo is one of the states of the South-South who would have been or could have been a beneficiary of that same position when Dr. Betta Edu, who is now Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, member of the Federal Executive Council, also got it. So Edo asked for it this time, just as they asked for it then, and Edo got it. We supported them to get it at that time. I expect that as a true party man, he should show loyalty and stick with the party. But I was shocked with the way he talked down the party. A true party man that is faithful to the creed of the party doesn't talk that way. Problems will always be there, yes. You must pass through the channels of resolving the problems. And I'm a stickler to what it is that problems can be solved by coming together in a fraternal spirit to seek ways and means of solving them, rather than through unnecessary worries and carnage, which has the potency of debasing us as a person or as a party. And that is exactly what the chairman of APC, in Cross River State has done. He alluded, quite so that he reached out to the national chairman. He also said he has written to the president. He didn't need to take it further by coming to TV to try to talk down the parties. It seems to me and to Edo people that are very peeved by the content of his speech, of his address, that he doesn't have respect for this party. And he also must be reminded, because I noted with disdain when he said that he struggled to bring APC to the state. Let me be reminded, he didn't struggle to bring the party to the state. Ben Ayade, professor in his wisdom, decided to port from his former party, the PDP, to APC. And that was how power got to APC in that state. So he should be reminded, he should not take the glory of what Ben Ayade did. He has never fought the battle for a party to take over from opposition. He didn't fight to take over from opposition. In Edo, in ACN, we fought the PDP and we wrestled power from them. So when we talk about wrestling power, nobody understands this more than the president, who was in opposition for so long, calculated, articulate, practical. And at the end of the day, look at where he has brought us all today. So the president understands what he went through, to take power, meticulous calculation to take power with respect. And at the end of the day, the president, if anything is happening, he wouldn't behave like the parable of the harlot who slept on the baby and he came before the King Solomon and said, okay, there was a time to take a decision. One said kill and the other one said please. The owner of the child said, if that is the case, for to kill this child, it's better to let it go. He's talking like the woman who wasn't wise to say let it go if it is not us. He don't threaten a political party in the manner that he did. And I know the character of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the person of President Ahmed Tinubu. I don't think he's one man who can be threatened to submission, And at the end of the day, you can negotiate, you can talk, but don't threaten. Because we are peeved, I want to say it again, we are miffed by his choice of words. How do you get justice? If you seek justice, excuse me, how do you seek justice?
All right, go ahead. But if I may just interject, please. You've made a lot of points. But the Edo State chapter of APC is promising a swift reaction to Mr. Ebba's intervention. Are we looking at an escalation of this scenario, you think?
No, there's no escalation except to say that those who occupy positions of authority must know that power, there are three categories of persons. When you talk about come to the context of success in life, those who are born to achieve greatness, who were born great, those who struggle to achieve greatness, and those who have greatness trusted upon them. In this category, I can tell you, in the ranking for taking over power, Cross River State belongs to those who just have greatness trusted upon them. He didn't struggle for it in this category, so he wouldn't understand. I give respect more to those who struggle to achieve greatness because they went through the crucibles. They understand what it means to get there. They went through the ranks, and therefore, when anything threatens, they wouldn't talk heaven down. They will go to the table to discuss. That is what reasonable men do. They go to the table to discuss. And that's what I'm recommending. You don't throw it. And let me also correct him. He is not bigger than the party. He must be corrected. The party has taken a position. He holds the office of the party chairman in trust for the All Progressives Congress. And every party man and woman who is a member of this party is under the maintainer, the register that is being maintained. His membership is maintained by the national party of this great party. So it shouldn't bring us to disrepute in the way he talks. And when he says we have struggled for this party, let him go through the definition of struggles. He will know that in the struggle for party, we started it in ACN. And he said, though it's traditionally PDP, we fought against PDP as it then was, when it was almost like a one-party state, not the way it is now. And we won from opposition, and we brought power to the state. Just as our leader, our national leader, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria today, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he was in opposition for so long, calculated, worked diligently, and today he's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I can imagine how the president feels when you try to talk down a party that is so loved, together with his people, and is to take it where it is now. The man, the president of the country, he knows exactly what is happening. He's trying to put the party together so that we can deliver on the renewed hope promise that we make to Nigeria. I believe any responsible APC members now should know that we are sitting on a time bomb. Nigerians are waiting. We must come together, with a fraternal spirit to seek ways and means of delivering on the renewed mandate, the renewed hope mandate that we gave to our people. Our people are waiting. So we must do that. You must not remind the president as if you are threatening him that the way to presidency, three governors left, and that's how. They must. And you're talking about divorce. You know, when you have a wife that is also irresponsible, a man that is irresponsible to a marriage, just like the man who spoke yesterday, the APC chairman in that, the way
sorry,
he behaves.
Washington,
no responsible man, no responsible
Washington,
a marriage would
please,
behave that way.
We will have to be careful with our words, choose our words carefully, so that we don't malign any individual. We can discuss issues, but we will not begin to insult personalities on a rise. We don't do that. So let's keep it very clean in terms of our conversation. But let's move away from that particular issue in a sense, but talk more about the fact that we should be asking ourselves the question, why do we focus more on state of origin rather than focusing on the quality of the individuals that govern or are appointed to help to run our MDAs, the ministries, public departments and agencies of government?
Well, we are where we are today because of the incidences of the question you just asked. Until and unless we learn to bring our best foot forward, we as a people will continue to remain where we are. The problems that we have are not problems created for us by the devil or some unseen elements. They are problems created by us, and those problems can also be solved by us. But I want to also concede that in every part of Nigeria, you have great minds and great brains. Therefore, Cross Rivers is not excluded, and Edo is not also excluded. But what I'm saying is that whereas wherever you go in this country, we are blessed with men and women of brains, you know, who can bring to bear what will solve the problems of this country. And I can say, for instance, and I don't blame him if he's asking that his case should be looked onto. That is what a good statesman should do. You know, who believes in his state. That is what somebody with national interest should do. But the truth is that in doing that, you must be, like you said, you must be civil with your language, so that you don't create a situation of threat to an entity. So what we are saying is that I think that the issues of this nation should take the front burner, and our personal interests should be kept, you know, on the second folder. Therefore, if we learn to do this, and this is done practically, you will see manifestly, we will go to the next level. I think as a chairman of a state, he has said the governor of his state is already aware. I want to say he should not make things difficult for the governor. The governor, if you submit to the authority of the governor, who is the leader of his state, like he said, and I believe so, but he must also know that in the whole of South, there are states who cannot, or as it is today, they do not have governors. Therefore, if a state does not have a governor, does that mean that state does not exist as members of the All Progressives Congress, or they don't have their line of leadership? Our leaders will always ask, amongst other leaders, thank God he mentioned the Senate, the uncommon Senate president and all of that, you know, and he was there. And this thing was debated and a decision was reached. So you don't come on top of your voice to threaten your party, who also gave you the platform to serve. Okay? So this is my advice. Temper justice with some good character, so that at the end of the day, your issues can be properly looked into. But as it is today, Dr. Mrs. Mary Idele Alile is the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, is national woman leader of the All Progressives Congress, I beg your pardon, and is from Edo State, my state. I salute her, I congratulate her, and I also want to congratulate the Cross River State that they have a darling daughter in the person of Betta Edu, Dr. Betta Edu, who we also very respect, young, dynamic, amiable, and all intelligent. The woman that has also come now is also a doctor, a PhD holder, you know, and she's somebody we know who loves the party, and she's been doing so well. And the truth is that the vacancy that has already been fixed, the difference will not even be felt, because I think I know, the Edo people know, the South know that she's going to take the office as national woman leader to the next level, beyond where Betta Edu, our darling daughter, took it to.
All right, Mr. Usifo there, but if we cast our mind back, we know exactly the scenarios when it comes to filling of leadership positions. Even at the national level, there were so much bickering, as it were. So why should the filling of leadership positions in a ruling party be much of a big deal, apparently? And what impact is this having on public opinion, regarding in-house, conflict mechanisms of resolving conflict, rather?
No, I can understand, like I said, you just mentioned the ruling party. That's a fact. And every position you get as a ruling party is attractive, so to speak, because it brings you to the national limelight. So I cannot wave away with the wave it away with the wave of the hand to say, oh, it's not important. What makes it tick? What makes it of a value is that it is a position that belongs to the ruling party, and it will continue to be so, And but talking about internal mechanism, yes, people will sometimes take their demand within reasonable limits. Some will take it outside the reasonable limit. Everybody cannot behave in the same way when you have a large family. Some pursue their claims liberally, democratically. Others will use brute force. And what I want to advise is that, we should not see whatever is happening now as to suggest to anyone that there are no internal mechanisms. This is just one person. I don't also think that it's everybody, even the governor of Cross River State. I don't think if he wants to pursue it, he will pursue it the way the chairman of the party is pursuing it. I am sure he knows how to pursue it without denigrating the name or bringing the name of the APC or what APC stands for to disrepute. We must protect your home. Fight within, protect your home, make your demand, but never to bring down a house that has provided a roof over your head.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Washington Usifo. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation.